Okay, well, shalom from Israel. This is Hannah, and I'm sitting here with my friend and neighbor, whose name is Niva. Hi, Niva.
Hi.
And she's a sweetheart. And I met her walking today, and she expressed her briefly a little bit about how she felt about the elections results in Israel. So I just wanted to ask you a little bit more about that, Niva. So you sounded like a little bit disappointed that Netanyahu got reelected. Is that right?
Yeah, that's certainly right. I hope I'm getting the grammar of English correctly because it's not my native tongue, but I'll try. We deeply embarrassed by Netanyahu and the fact that he's again the prime minister.
So why is that, Niva? By the way, your English is fantastic, so thank you. I know that it's not your first language.
Too.
Oh yeah, right. You can't lie on an interview. Okay, so this morning I think you even, expressed like it just makes you feel so depressed. Yes. And what is going on. And so explain to us who don't really understand more about that. What issues do you have with him? And
we try to understand why people keep electing this person who for the past 6 years managed to deteriorate every aspect of our lives, starting with U.S. relationship, going through education, health, poverty issues. Almost everything that the government's supposed to help you in Netanyahu has begotten worse. Mm-hmm. And I know it's probably different looking at it from a broad perspective and not when you live here. But we are a nation that doesn't always revolve around terrorism. I know that's how it looks from the newspaper. We have children. We want to send them to good education, to have a good education. We want to go to good hospitals. We want to have better life for ourselves and for our grandchildren eventually. We don't always revolve around terrorism. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Like we're sitting here in the park, and I was just looking at how many young mothers are. We're just in our moshav, in our village. And there's so many young mothers, and the kids are swinging in the swings, and this is,
exactly like
this
Canada.
is like normal life.
Yeah,
that's right. Except it's a lot warmer here.
Yeah, it's nicer around the weather. But it's exactly like them.
People just want to live and swing their kids in the swings and have a good life with their kids. So you feel like during Netanyahu's leadership, everything's kind of gone downhill?
Yeah, I don't just feel it. It's backed by realism. We see it all around us. We see it in our paycheck. We see it in our roads. We see it in the way people react. We just see it all around us. And I fail to understand how my friends keep on electing this person who keeps on lying, who keeps on promising empty words. And it's hard for me actually because I feel like I'm losing my country each and every time he's getting elected. I feel I'm losing the country that I lived, in, that I was born here. My parents left Argentina to come here and to help build this nation. I was in the army. My family was in the army. My father fought endless wars. So I will be able to live here. So his grandchildren will be able to live here. We don't have to be afraid all the time. And that's what Netanyahu wants us. That's why he got elected, because he keeps on scaring people.
You mean like with the threat from Iran and all
and
of that?
Our lives doesn't revolve around terrorism and around Iran. People have to understand that. They are much more complex than that. They are much more happier than that. We are normal.
Yeah.
I don't
know about normal. Some more than others.
80% of us is living with post-traumatic stress. But besides that,
that's true.
Besides that, we're pretty normal.
Yeah.
We read, we watch television, we go into the movies, we travel. We have a beautiful, beautiful country.
Yeah.
And
so you feel it's sort of like going down the tubes under Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Was that the reason for the protest? Like, when the people kind of like took to the parks and were like camping out and in Kerem and everything, they're kind of protesting the high cost of housing. And
yes. Everything revolves around, we say in Hebrew it says "Rak lo Bibi," anything but Bibi. That's what the election was about. It's amazing how it's just around one person.
Yeah.
I was just on the sofa today, very depressed, and I thought to myself, how can this person who everyone hates so much, what does he have that others don't? Does he have that much charisma that everyone just fall apart when they see him? I don't get it.
So you think that the average Israeli really doesn't like Netanyahu?
Yeah.
So why do you think he got voted?
My family,
Oh.
at least my family doesn't.
Okay.
We're very average.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So why do you think he got voted in again? How
Because
do you
he
think that happened?
scares people.
Because he scared people.
He's going to the lowest, the most lowest basic, which is survival.
Fear of survival.
In Israel,
Yeah.
you can just voice your fear, and everyone is scared. The Holocaust, the wars we have, the fact that we're surrounded by enemies, is something when you grow up in Israel. It is invented inside of you. It's inside your bloodstream. This fear, and you can just pick. You can just point it and just press the button.
Provoking it.
And provoking it. And that's what he does. And apparently he's doing it really well because he's gotten elected again, unfortunately. And when you talked about that, we met this morning and we said to one another, where will we live? We only have this place and we're thinking about it.
Okay, so I just want to explain when we were walking, and if I'm wrong, correct me, but Niva said something like, it just makes me feel even like I just don't even want to live here. I just want to go somewhere else. But then it's like, yeah, but where would we go? And that's the thing. I think you even had a very interesting expression for this is a nation of
baboons.
I didn't know if you'd say it.
Baboons. Yeah, I'm
nation
not
of
afraid.
baboons.
Yeah, because it feels like, how can you I can comprehend the fact that people keep voting for this person. Don't you have a mind of your own? Can you see what's going on around you? And this fear, it's amazing how you can control a nation with fear. And we just thought about
Okay, yes, we just stopped at Nation of Baboons. And what was I just going to ask about that? Okay, just the last thing I have to ask about. What about Netanyahu taking this kind of stand that we're going to keep Jerusalem united, we're not going to give away the land, we're not going to divide Jerusalem, we're not going to make a Palestinian state here, whereas they're saying that the other people want to kind of give away the farm, they want to give away our land, they're giving it away to the enemy, and then they have another terrorist stronghold. So don't you think that people maybe were voting for him because he was taking a strong stand for we're going to keep the land, we're not going to give it away, we're not going to release terrorists anymore, that kind of thing?
His opponent, Bougie Herzog, who didn't win, unfortunately, said the same thing, that he's not going to Jerusalem was going to be united, which is basically a lie, because at this moment it is not united.
Right.
And both of them know it. People who actually read the paper and actually visiting Jerusalem knowing it as well. So everything revolves around lies. I would have hoped that a person who is going to vote would actually knowing for himself and taking the time to understand what he wants for his life, and then picking the best opponent for him.
So which party is Bougie from?
Bougie is actually from the left, but it's not like a Republican Democratic from the U.S., because everything in Israel is so combined and so complex that you can say that you're left wing or right wing, but it's actually everyone is kind of both. So it's very complex, like everything around here.
Yeah. It does seem like a really complex issue. Well, Niva, thank you so much for sharing so honestly and really sharing your heart and just some of the struggles and some of the things that I'm going through, and about one reaction to the election results. Thanks, Niva.
You're welcome.
Bless you.
Kisses.